Well. If you have been living under a rock, will be the only reason why you don't know about Shannon Sharpe and his so-called IG, Instagram debacle, scandal, uh, what else would we call it? Scam, what else? Setup, farce, anything. You know, you can call it whatever you want. Here's my 2 cents or my take or my thoughts on the whole ordeal. First of all, his team is not gonna put anything out without his authorization, right? Because I don't think he understood the gravity of it. That was an afterthought. Because you're not gonna be on the team of a high profile person like that and just randomly put something out without his approval. So that was a lie on top of a lie, right? So they put out the text or the post. My Instagram was hacked. My team is working on it. Blah blah blah. Right? So after they put up the post, they realized that, golly, it's 2 minutes of this shit out there. It's over 2 minutes of the interaction that's out there, right? Now, this is if it was an accident, okay? So then he was like, oh, that almost makes sense that it was an accident, but I'm still like not 100% convinced that it was an accident, right? So anyway, it's 2 minutes of this live interaction with a woman who we all come to know as Mama Michelle, right? So, and in this interaction, you know, you can hear him saying, grab my ass, and she all poppy, and she says his name, Shannon, you know, so, she sounds like she was speaking a language that was not American. And I don't want to speculate on what that language was, but the only thing that we heard in English was poppy. Don't do that now. Only thing we heard in English was Poppy and Shannon. Sorry, I was watching this car make a left turn. So I don't think she was I don't think her first language was American, right? So anyway, all that is on the internet. He decides to do a live explanation, reaction to what we all heard. On his show with Ocho Cinco called The Nightcap, right? And this show is, you know, it's for lack of a better word or explanation, it's a locker room type show. You know, locker room banter between two males. I hate to call them men because they were acting like two teenagers, right? And, you know, that's the essence of the show. I get that. The show is not for everybody, right? You know, it's mainly for men who align with that misogynistic, narcissistic behaviors and ideology. That's exactly what Ocho and Shannon is. Both of them are narcissistic men. Both of them have a toxic level of misogynistic behaviors and ideologies. Even though Osho's supposed to be with this one woman, but the way he talks is just so you have to listen to some of the things that they say to understand what I'm talking about. But nevertheless, just believe me when I say they have a misogynistic undertone to all their rhetoric when they're talking about women, relationships, dating, or anything that's in regards to the opposite sex, right? So that's what you go get when you go to the nightcap, right? So of course, if you heard the Instagram, you're gonna go listen to what he got to say, right? So he first comes on and talks about, this is the last thing I wanted to happen. It was an accident. I had no clue. I apologize to the people. Then it gets into the jokes and the insensitive remarks regarding the incidents, or in directly towards her. In this whole live, which was about an hour and 15 minutes or so, he never once apologized to the woman who was involved. Because here's the thing. We, the public, may not know who she is, but somebody know who she is. She know who she is. She couldn't even get an apology like, I want to, publicly apologize to the woman that was involved. I know this was, she definitely didn't want to be out there. She did, who knows? But nevertheless, he didn't even acknowledge her presence as a person. He referred to her like a sex object, a sex worker, somebody that didn't even matter to him. Because in the live, Ocho says, I guess this means everything is off limits for anybody else. And he's like, what? I'm out there, In other words, this random chick that he had sex with on Smash, this random woman who he had smash with doesn't even matter to him. And I said this, no one will know who she was or who she is because he don't care who she is. He doesn't care who she is. Michelle was just a random chick, and it was in the middle of the day. So it's not someone who is working or has a job or has a business. This is in the middle of the day at I don't know if it was his hotel room or house or whatever the case may be. So to me, it sounds like she was a smash worker or somebody who, provide those services to men like him, right? Anyway, the bottom line is she was a throwaway. She was a throwaway to him, right? But even if that's what she was, he didn't have the decency. So that's what lets you know that this man is so filled with misogynistic ideals and behaviors and toxicity that he didn't even realize maybe I should publicly apologize to her, the person who was involved. He didn't care. He didn't care not one bit. To me, that was the level a toxicity that bleeds into the community, that bleeds into men that's out here who think that they can treat and disrespect women any kind of way. That is what he lends to. And then on top of that, he goes and puts out a t-shirt that says Mama Shell and does a live roast. It was more like a pat on the back from the boys club, from the men who are so immature that they think this is just a big old joke. Who don't care about a woman's integrity. They don't care about nothing. They just care about getting off. And that's it. On a woman. It's the disrespect for it all. So anyway, if you made it this far, thank you for listening. I'm here. I'm here giving you content, dropping my opinion, my 2 cents. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm out. It's your girl, Clicks to the Views.